One.
I mean, why do you think people call me Z? I mean, it's just like, now you can't get it wrong.
No,
right?
Zubin's fine. How could you botch Zubin?
You'd be surprised.
Nobody gave Key any mess when he messed up on Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I did, but see,
He said, "Ooh, too many names."
Yeah, I got out of it. I just see you didn't. You kept going. You just wanted it to go away.
Let's get out of it. You just keep going, act like it didn't happen.
Play straight Paul.
But
Oh, jeez.
We knew who you meant, of course. We knew who you
You
meant.
guys are the worst.
As we go from A to Z, here's an unmistakable name that all sports fans know. That would be one Mickey Mantle. As we go from A to Z here. Mickey Mantle, $5.2 million. The sale of a Mickey Mantle baseball card. $5.2 million.
Key, real quick.
Well, I guess that's art.
This is how our crew tried to do us wrong this morning. I'm reading the notes, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is worth $5.2 million." Key's card on Amazon worth $2. Jay's card on Amazon worth $1.50. That's what our crew tries to do. No, but
that my card that's worth $2 is probably a card that they duplicated 18 million times. But I'm not spending. Well, I guess it's art though, right?
Yeah,
it's an investment.
Million.
It's art. It's an investment. They put it away and it goes up. I'm not a collector, Zubin, so it just sounds absurd. But I guess that's a collector's item. It's probably the only one in the world.
Zubin, sports cards right now are one of the hottest things out there in business. Like it is booming. These cards.
It's one of those things where it's like it's retro. What's old is new again. We're all over the age where we kind of remember where like baseball card collecting was a thing. If you're like a millennial now, you're like, what in the world are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it was a big thing back in the day.
5.2. It's got to be art. That's the only thing, right? That's the way I would justify it.
And no offense to the fellas, because they had great athletic careers and I just watched them. But think about it. The shipping and handling on a Key or J card is more expensive than the card. Right? The shipping and the handling is more expensive than the card.
See, I'm not going to let you do that to me, Zubin, because the card that they referring to and referencing got to be a card that was made 10 times over. I'm not going out like that.
Fair enough. So
that's
if you're
cold-blooded, Zubin. That's why you didn't know that. I'm marking that one down. A lot of shots being fired today on this show.
That's good, though. $2, huh? Yeah, you are right.
Right. And Jay, you got work to do. You're 50 cents behind. All right, here we go.
That's why my name is second on the show, Zubin. I get it.
All right, here we go. Jay, this is important. This is right up your alley, the Nets, the NBA, and what's going to be happening with this huge story. Sean Marks, the team's GM, addressing the Kyrie Irving absence. What's going on? Here's the GM, and then we'll get Jay's reaction.
They're completely separate from one another. Kyrie's absence and the personal issues that he's dealing with has nothing to do with us going after and attaining James Harden in this. Regarding Kyrie and when he'll be hopefully back and rejoining the team, part of that is going to be up to the NBA, and we're waiting for them to come out with their ruling on the health and safety protocols. Hopefully we'll have a ruling soon. I have talked to Kyrie, so I know he's excited about getting back on the court with his teammates, as soon as possible.
And just in case you're wondering, if you don't know, and sometimes you don't see these guys on TV, Sean Marks has that Australian-New Zealand background, so that's where the James Harden came in there instead of James Harden. What do you think here, Jay? So the GM has weighed in.
See, it's a win-win for the Nets right now. It's a win-win position. And your position is this. If Kyrie decides to come back and be a part of this team, you would think that James Harden, them going out and acquiring him, would get the attention of Kyrie. Like, we can do it now. We're going to surround all the pieces to get this thing done. If he comes back, great. If he doesn't, if he chooses not to, if issues continue, then you have to deal with that. But now you have James Harden and Kevin Durant on the same team. Like, that is still a recipe for success in the Eastern Conference. I'm not saying that gets you over the hump to beat the Lakers in the finals, but, man, it gives you a legit shot.
I think Kyrie will sit back and assess the situation, and he'll be back in the fold. How could you not, right? Do you want to miss out on the party? No, you don't want to miss out on the party. You want to be a part of that. You don't want to be the reason that they don't make it. You want to be the reason and be a part of why they make it.
From a macro sense, Jay, and once again, the Nets will be back on the floor tomorrow night at the Barclays Center. They'll take on Orlando. Sean Marks, the acquisition of Kevin Durant, the acquisition of James Harden, it has been an incredible run for what he's been able to do, and now dealing with the Kyrie controversy. I mean, you want to talk about having your hands full. Really incredible what he's been able to do, but also what's in front of him right now.
I got to tell you, though, knowing Sean for a while, Sean sees a lot of things before they happen. I think that's one of his superpowers. And I know that Sean spent time thinking about how to react to Kyrie when these issues or something like this potentially comes up. And I think thus far, the way he's had to manage those personalities, strong personalities, I would give him a pretty good grade. Now, whether that trickle-down effect, how that continues to blossom offensively with Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni, that's something that we're going to be watching throughout the entire year.
Mm-hmm. And that's something to keep tabs on, too. Jay brought it up yesterday, but the fact that you've got a first-year coach that, granted, is a two-time MVP, but has never actually been a coach, having to manage all of these personalities, and then having his right-hand man, his old coach, to be able to go and ask advice from. It's just a fascinating situation all the way around. And again, life with Harden begins tomorrow night. We'll see if he's in uniform, and Kyrie hopefully back next week. It all begins tomorrow at home against the Orlando Magic. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests.
If your running game is not working, clearly the easiest thing is for your DBs to sit back and be like, okay, they're just going to pass the ball, which clearly Patrick Mahomes can do. But Clyde Allaire, I think, he's had an up and down year between injuries and lack of production after a good start. So it'll be interesting to see how often he's used and how well he does, because the playoffs are a different animal. It's the intensity is different. The pressure is different. The Browns, they'll tell, I look at them as a team that has nothing to lose. No one thought they'd be here. So I expect them to come out and look to stop the run game for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they use them.
Kimberly A. Martin joining us on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Our ESPN NFL reporter will be covering the game. That real quick for me, Kimberly, Kareem Hunt going back to Kansas City, the team that drafted him. Where's his emotions at?
Oh, man, he said he's a man on a mission. He said this is personal. Teammates even, Nick Chubb said this week, Kareem's been talking about this game as though he knew it was going to happen, this matchup would happen. So the key to me is this can't be too emotional for Kareem. He has to continue doing what he's been doing with Nick Chubb. They don't care how they split the carries, because they both have been productive. He needs to come out, have a good game, but not let the emotions of the moment and where he's playing overtake him.
Kim, I want to talk to you real quick about the Jets and their new head coach, Robert Saleh.
It's a good day. It's a good day for Jets fans,
it's
right?
It's a great day,
Everybody
right?
should be happy at work
especially
today.
with how he's announcing his staff. I mean, bringing on Mike LaFleur with him, a guy that comes from that kind of Kyle Shanahan offense. What does that mean for Sam Darnold?
I don't think we know what that means. In all seriousness, LaFleur could work to fix Sam Darnold, but right now everything's on the table. When you got a new head coach, the GM who didn't draft Sam Darnold, that was the old GM. You've watched 3 years of bad quarterback play, and you're a team that has the number 2 overall pick. Sam Darnold's future with the team isn't at all set. If you're Sam Darnold, you might be somewhat hyped, okay, cool, Salah, LaFleur, okay, I feel based on what they've done in San Francisco, this could be good for us, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll be on the roster in September. I've said before, if you don't have a QB, you have nothing. And the Jets right now, Salah is inheriting a situation where he has no QB. He has no set answer. The Jets ruined Sam Darnold's development. So it'll be on him to decide if he can sort of fix a decent QB and turn him into something great, or just say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of holes to fix, and with that number 2 pick, I'm moving on to a new QB.
It's great perspective, because Kim spent 5 years on the Jets beat, and it seems like that's at least good for 2 or 3 head coaches, right? 5 years.
It sure was for the Rex days. Yep.
Now they've got one that they hopefully feel will be there for a long time. See if they get this one right. This is being universally praised throughout the NFL and football circles as a great move for the Jets, and Kim concurs. Kim, we will look for you Sunday before the game on Sunday NFL Countdown, and then after the game on SportsCenter for the very latest between the Browns and the Chiefs, one of whom will be headed to the AFC title game. Kim, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, guys.
Fellas, let's go from A.
Wait, hold on.
What's
we
that?
ain't going from A to Z just yet.
Okay, hang on.
Jay,
Yeah.
What was Claypool's name?
Stop,
I was trying
man.
to avoid
You know,
it.
you get a tongue twister. I know it's Chase Claypool, and I said Clace Claypool. I got it.
Clay Claypool.
Hey, I botched a few in my time too.
You guys are the worst. I knew this was going to happen. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I said, "Damn it."
Clay Claypool.
Well, look, but I'm not gonna be the one. It's gonna be Twitter. Is that English? What does this mean?